What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We went 3-0 yesterday, which brought our 18-4 run to a 21-4 run. I got 4 props that I really do like for today's 9-game slate. Today is Halloween, so happy Halloween to everybody watching this video. But it is also the start of the NBA Cup. After I give you guys my 4 official plays, I'm going to go over some leans that I do have for today because I do think there's a lot of value out there that I didn't officially lock in as a play. So hopefully you guys find value in that. But before we jump into today's props, let's quickly recap yesterday's props. So like we went over in yesterday's video, we've been on this insane run, and yesterday continued that insane run. Wendell Carter Jr. hit a 3-pointer in the first quarter. Alex Sarr finished with 8 rebounds, which was a little sweatier than I expected, and Julian Champagnie grabbed his 5th rebound on the last play of the game, which is very lucky, and we should have lost that. But it does make up for this Zion Williamson loss that I had, which I was very clearly hurt by. After yesterday, that brings our total profit up to almost 9 units on the season so far, which is better than I could have imagined. This 21-4 run has been insane, and I'm very grateful for it, but I'm not going to be on this run forever. So just because I am on a 21-4 run, don't start putting 5 units down on my props. We still got to stay smart. We're in this game to make profit across the whole length of the season. But yeah, that's enough for the recap. Let's hop right into the picks for today. So my first prop for today's set of games is in the Raptors-Cavs game, and I'm going with Colin Murray-Boyles to make 1 3-pointer. I got this at around -133 on DraftKings. You can get this for a little better odds than what I did, but you guys can see here he shot 3 for 4 in his last game, 3 for 5 in the game before that, and those are in the both games he's actually gotten minutes because Jakob Poeltl has been out. Now you guys saw in the Raptors' last game, we bet on Mamu to score 8 points, which he did, but he didn't play nearly as many minutes as I thought, and that's because Colin Murray-Boyles ended up stealing his minutes as the replacement center. But the thing is, Colin Murray-Boyles isn't even that tall. He's just a big boy, and he's projected to play a solid 25 minutes tonight, which is what he's seen in these last 2 games. So in his first 2 real games in the NBA, he's made 3 threes in both of them on 5 attempts and 4 attempts, and now he gets the best matchup out of the 3 games versus this Cavs team. They allow the most threes to his position, the 6th most 3-point attempts per game, and if you look at this graph, they allow the 8th most points to above the break threes per game, which is where Colin Murray-Boyles scores 60% of his points. On top of that, they also suck at defending spot-up shooters. They are the worst in the league, which is how Colin Murray-Boyles scores 88% of his points. So this guy's scoring because he's making threes. 3 out of his 5 field goal made were threes. 3 out of his 7 were 3-pointers. And now with a line of 10.5, 9.5, if we're just doing some quick math here, if he wants to even come close to that line, more than half of those points are going to have to come from deep. So if this line was at 1.5, I wouldn't play it. All we need CMB to do is make 1 3-pointer, which I think is very doable if he's taking 4 or 5 attempts again, in the best matchup possible. Now, I did think about laddering this up to 2 and 3 just because of how insane the odds are. I mean, he's done this in back-to-back games. That doesn't mean he's going to do it again, but his 2+ 3-pointers made was sitting at like plus 343, and his 3 was sitting at plus like 1200. So if you did want to throw 0.1, 0.2, whatever units on that, I don't think that's a bad idea. But yeah, my first play is Colin Murray-Boyles over 0.5 3-pointers made. Now my next prop is in the Celtics 76ers game, and I'm going with Mr. Peyton Pritchard over 9.5 RA. Now this does look like it has been bumped to 10.5 on almost every other book, but I got this a couple hours ago, so did my Discord and Winnable subs, at -115 on BetMGM. Now, I know Peyton Pritchard went under this RA line versus the Sixers in the Celtics' first game of the season, but he only had 2 assists on 9 potential assists and just 5 rebounds on 13 rebound chances. So if he converts on 2 more assists and 1 more rebound, we cash, or if he just grabs a couple boards, we cash. Then he's demolished this line in every other game of the season with crazy potentials. 13, 10, 13, 15, and then his rebound chances haven't been bad either. 11, 15, only 6 here, but they won by 32 points, and then another 12 2 days ago. So I think Peyton Pritchard is kind of leaning into that main point guard role, and Anthony Simons hasn't been finishing the games with the Celtics, so they clearly, I mean, it's not even a question, they trust Peyton Pritchard as their main guard over Anthony Simons, not including Derek White, who I think is going to score a lot more than he's going to assist tonight. If you scroll down to similar players, rebounds and assists versus the 76ers, you can see Jalen Suggs had 12 versus them, and then all in the same game, LaMelo Ball, Trey Mann, and Colin Sexton had 18, 7, and 9, which is pretty insane. The only way I see us losing this prop is if this man, Josh Minot, grabs another 15 rebounds. He's been rebounding the ball like crazy, which is why I think Pritchard has only had 3 rebounds in each of these last 2 games, but both of these games have been blowouts, and Josh has played a couple more minutes than what he normally would. RotoWire has him projected here to start and play 25 minutes, which, I mean, he could see 28, 33 minutes, I don't know, but I don't think he's going to grab 15 rebounds again, which is why I went with Pritchard's RA over just his assists. So like I was saying earlier, Pritchard hasn't seen less than 9 potential assists this season, and he's averaging about 11 rebound chances per game. So if we just look at games where Peyton Pritchard has had at least 9 potential assists, he's gone over this 9.5 RA line in 73.3% of games, averaging almost 12 RA. And that's not including if we add that he's been getting rebound chances as well. Even if you want to bump these down to make it more accurate, there's not much better he can get. And that's why this 9.5 was a steal before it got to 10.5 here. Without Tatum alone, this is already at a 61.5% hit rate. And then if we bump up his potential assists, because I don't see him getting any less than 7, 8, he's had no trouble beating this 9.5 RA line. And look at that, it actually got bumped in real time here. That's why it's important to be in my Discord, because you would have gotten this 9.5 line at the same odds. You're now going to see it at 10.5. But yeah, my second prop for today is Peyton Pritchard over 9.5 RA. Now my third prop is in the Nuggets Blazers game, and I'm going with Nikola Jokic over 39.5 PR. Now he's only gone over this one time this season, but before we dive a little deeper into the data, I want to show you guys how Nikola Jokic has performed throughout his 6 NBA Cup games so far in his career. So over the span of these 6 games, he has averaged 33.3 points and 15.3 rebounds. I mean, just looking at this, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 33, 17, the list goes on. And then the one time he didn't surpass his points line of 27, 26.5, we would have cashed out that PR because he got 16 rebounds. So I do really like the narrative behind this play, but I also like that he's dominated the Blazers in the past, and now he's going to be matching up against Donovan Clingan, who's just going to sit in the paint and battle Jokic for rebounds. And Jokic's rebound chances have been insane so far this season, even though they've had a couple blowout wins. He had 19 in just 28 minutes 2 days ago, 23, 27, and 20. So if we look at games where he sees at least 19 rebound chances, he's dominated his rebounds line, but he has struggled versus the Blazers in the past, so that is why I like the points rebounds over just his rebounds line. And he has hooked his points line a couple times versus the Blazers and hasn't really been scoring at the same rate as he usually would be, so I'm taking the PR, so in case he lacks in one of these categories, the other one can pick him up. If he ends at 25 points, hopefully he can grab 15, 19 rebounds to cash us at 40 PR. The Blazers also have a pretty good defense this season, so like with a lot of our rebound props, we're looking for good defenses that force a lot of missed shots, which just creates more rebound opportunities. Yes, they do defend the restricted area very well, which is where Jokic scores 45% of his points, but they struggle at defending the paint, where Jokic can just plop in a little floater, which is how he scores 42% of his points. And then if we look at the play type analysis, the Blazers might have a good defense, but they struggle at defending big man posting up. And then they also foul a ton. So if Jokic is just in the paint banging with Donovan Clingan all night, and Yang Hansen, or Rob Williams if he does end up playing, then I'm expecting him to get to the line like he did against the Timberwolves the one time he did cash his PR line this season. But yeah, my third prop for today is Nikola Jokic over 39.5 PR. Now my fourth and final play is in the Jazz Suns game, and I'm going with Devin Booker to make 3 3-pointers. I got this at -136 on DraftKings, and I'm taking this because Booker's 3-point attempts versus the Jazz are absolutely ridiculous. Since November 12th of last year, he's taken 9 threes, 13 threes, 12, 10, and 12. And then this season, he's played 2 games without Dillon Brooks, and he's taken 11 3-pointers, and then the first game without Dillon was actually versus the Jazz, and he took another 12 3-point attempts. So let's just look here. If Devin Booker is taking at least 7 3-pointers, he's over in 72% of games. And then we just keep bumping this up. If he takes 8 attempts, if he takes 9, this hit rate is just unbelievably good. And just like Peyton Pritchard, you can slide his ceiling down if you want. Put this at 12 because that's what he's kind of been taking versus the Jazz in his last matchups versus them. In games when Booker shoots 9 to 12 threes, he's made 3 in 28 out of 30 games, with both of his misses being versus pretty good units at defending above the break threes. And the Jazz this season are the 5th worst at defending above the break threes and the worst at defending the right corner three, which is where Devin Booker scores 37% of his points. Booker's points line is at 31.5, and 33-ish% of those points should be about 10 points from beyond the arc, means Devin Booker should hit 3-3-pointers in this game. So my 4th and final official prop for today's set of games is Devin Booker over 2.5 3-pointers made. Now let's jump into some leans on some props that I do like for today, but there's something that's throwing me off about them. My first lean is Pascal Siakam's rebounds, which without Benedict Mathurin so far this season, his rebound chances have been insane. 15 and 17 rebound chances. If he's seeing anywhere close to that again, he's kind of demolishing this line of 8.5 rebounds. The Hawks suck at rebounding, so I mean the hit rate looks really good on this. There's just too many uncertainties with this Pacers team. Maybe I'll end up locking this in because it is only noon right now, but as of right now, this is just a lean that I am liking for today. Another lean that I have in this game is Luke Kennard over his points. I really do like Luke Kennard as a player. I think he's a solid role player, and when Trae Young got injured last game, he really stepped into that scoring role to help the Hawks beat the Nets. But he doesn't take that many shots. I know normally I say if a guy's taking as many shots as his line, I will take that prop a lot of the times, but the Pacers have always been good at defending the 3-point line, which is how he scores 51% of his points. So I do think he goes over, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does struggle today, or if someone else goes off, like Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Jalen Johnson. So that's why it's a lean for me. Another lean I have is this man right here, scoring 8 points. I do really like his matchup tonight, and he did just play really well versus the Cavs in their blowout win, and he dominated the Sixers in their first game of the season. So I do see him going over again, and I might lock this in because it's looking really good, and Joel Embiid is moving like he's walking on eggshells. So I do think he goes over the 7.5 line, but it's just a lean for me right now. Now I have a ton of leans in the Knicks Bulls game. I think Cat goes off. His 21.5 line has already been bumped to 22.5. I just think I'm going to stay away. But Cat has destroyed Nikola Vucevic throughout his entire career, averaging 27 points and 11 rebounds. And that's why you can see here he's dominated the Bulls. And centers that have played the Bulls recently have had no trouble going over their lines. But Cat is already not my favorite player when we're talking about play style. And now with Mitchell Robinson questionable and Yabusele also probable, and with the Bulls actually being the best team so far at defending above the break threes, that's enough for me to kind of just lay off this prop. What if he gets injured in the third quarter or something too? Because he is nursing a quad. I do expect him to bounce back, and I think he does go over this 22.5 points prop, but I'm just not confident enough to make it an official play. Then same thing with this Mikal Bridges rebound. I really do like it at 3.5, but with Mitchell Robinson and Yabusele back, I'm not as confident in him grabbing 4 boards. And then Jalen Brunson has historically assisted the ball really well versus the Bulls. They used to be an assist funnel. This year, I mean, you can still consider them an assist funnel with Cade going over. And Trae Young also had 17 assists versus them, which was the day we took Trae Young over 9.5 assists. But Brunson's potentials have just been low in some of these games. Like I know he had 17 and 19, which is insane, but he's also had 8 and 5. So I do like this 6.5 line. This was not out earlier. Maybe I'll have to lock that in because he's gone over in every single game versus the Bulls in the last 2 years. But with it being an NBA Cup game, I just almost see too many angles here for this game to play out. So I'm just staying away from it. I didn't really have any reads in the Lakers-Grizzlies game. I'm just staying away from that as well with Luka returning. I don't have a real read on that game. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video and you do like how I analyze these props and want them early, you can subscribe to my Winnable for $5 a month or just join for free. Both of these subscriptions get you access to my Discord, which is where I think the real value is. I'm only charging $5 a month for VIP because in my opinion, I'm still new to this whole capper role. Even though I am on a 21-4 run, I'm taking this $5 a month as more of like you supporting me for cashing you out. Free members still get my plays 95% of the time early as well. So yeah, make sure you join my Discord. The link will be in the description below. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've doubled my subscriber count within the last couple days, and we got a nice little community that's slowly growing inside Discord. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for today's video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and drop a comment below on how I can improve these videos or my research strategy. I want to win money. I want to help you guys win money, and it's as simple as that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.